Hey friends, happy Wednesday. Um, I want to get into toddler sleep today, but first I wanted to quickly say that I have created a new Facebook group. It's called Little Ones, sorry, Sleep Little Ones member group. Um, I am going to be certified as a sleep consultant in the next probably week. I'll be certified as a sleep consultant. And so I wanted to start a group to specifically help people who need sleep advice for their littles. This group is obviously free, it's on Facebook, and the advice I give in there is free. Although I will say it is just the tip of the iceberg for sleep training, but you can also there is always the option of hiring me as a sleep consultant, but this group is specifically advice for free and help for free because I know that not everyone can afford a sleep consultant. So I just want to put that out there before I got into this video today. And so also the link to that video will be in the description box, and you can click on that and join if you'd like to get sleep and advice on sleep for your baby. All right, and so today I wanted to get into the three biggest sleep needs for your toddler. When kids grow up, I mean, sleep changes from being born from a newborn until they are an adult. But in the first 2 years of life, sleep is extremely important. A lot of parents, when their kid turns one, they think, well, naps aren't as important anymore, but they actually are, and for different reasons than when they were a younger baby. So, for the first thing I want to say is that toddlers still need a decent amount of sleep in a 24-hour period. Um, there is lots of physiological, mental, and emotional changes that a 2-year-old is going through, and they actually toddlers actually reach half of their adult size by the age of 2. That's a lot of growing. So if you think about it, they're learning to walk, talk, they're learning to think for themselves, they're learning to interact with other children, they're learning to potty train, they're learning to sometimes they're learning to adjust to a new baby being born in their family, and on and on and on and on. So many things that these young little children are having to adjust to and learn and think about. So sleep obviously plays a crucial role in all of this. Sleep is literally super important for a developing brain. Um, and sometimes when a baby is or a toddler isn't getting the amount of sleep that they need, it will come out in behavior issues such as um, well, they could be intolerant of things. They could be denying food, or maybe they are just hesitant to eat food because they're just, their sleep isn't well, so they're not feeling hungry. Um, they could have a lack of cooperation. There could be moodiness. If these behaviors are happening regularly, then I highly suggest looking into how much sleep they're getting in a 24-hour period and adjusting if you need to, because it will make all of the difference. So, number two that I want to talk about is, what is the right amount of sleep for a toddler? What is it? And I have to say that sleep is always age dependent. And not only is it age dependent, but it is also dependent on the child. Each child is different. For example, some 12-month-old babies or toddlers still need 2 hours of a nap during the day, while others can go with an hour and a half. It always depends on the child, and it depends on their age. Sleep is always age dependent. So for a toddler between the ages of 12 to 15 months, they need about 2 hours of sleep during the day, so nap sleep, and that could be across one nap or two. So only 2 hours. So if it's two naps, you only give 1 hour naps if there's two of them. If there's one nap, cap it at 2 hours. The total amount of sleep, well, the nighttime sleep that they should be getting is 12 hours, and the total amount of sleep in 24-hour period should be 14 hours. And going down the line, even more, 16 to 24 months old need about the same, about 2 hours of napping, and this can be over one nap. They don't really need that morning nap anymore. You can stretch it out because their awake times will differ now. They'll be longer. Usually 16 to 24-month old, they can stay awake between 5 to 7 hours for awake time. So you want to make sure that you're giving them one nap and it's 2 hours long, and sometimes it might be a little less depending on your child. And so the total sleep that they're getting at night should be 12 hours, and the total sleep in a 24-hour period should be 14 hours, very similar to the 12 to 15-month age. All right, and then so for the 2 to 2.5 year olds, they need about 1 to 1.5 hours of nap time over one nap. So it might be just an hour long, it might be an hour and a half. It depends on your child. My son is that age. He's almost 2.5 years old, and he still takes an hour and a half nap because that is just what he needs right now. So I still give him that. So they need 12 hours of sleep at night, and also so altogether to total sleep in a 24-hour period is 13 to 13.5 hours. And then we head on to 2.5 to 3 years. They usually drop their naps around that age. Some babies, or sorry, toddlers still need that sleep, that nap, but if they are taking a nap, it would be extremely short. I would say 45 minutes to half an hour to 45 minutes tops. And it should always be awake at 2 o'clock. Any later than that, and you're not going to have your baby going to sleep at a decent time. They'll probably be up till like 9 or 10. Maybe that's okay with you, but for me, I like to have alone time at night. So my kids all go to bed at 7 o'clock. And that is a great bedtime. Between 7 to 8:30 is a good bedtime. So the third thing I want to talk about is the common sleep problems that your toddler may be having. And this varies between each child is different, right? So there's a couple that I want to talk about. I'm just going to touch on them. If you guys want more detailed concepts on this, then you can always join my group, and also you can always hire me as a sleep consultant. But obviously that is not required. My group will help you just as much. Well, not just as much, I shouldn't lie. Because sleep consultants, you just get so much more than you ever will from a Facebook group. But that being said, I'm still going to give you these tips. So you will know the first sleep problem is maybe your toddler is not sleeping well at night. Maybe they're not going down at bedtime very well. They're not settling well, or maybe they're waking up frequently throughout the night. That could be because they're either ready to reduce their naps or they're ready to drop naps altogether. You'll know that because they won't be settling well at bedtime. At bedtime, they may be fluffing around in there for an hour. That means that they've had too much sleep during the day, and you need to either cut their nap down a lot or you need to cut it out completely. And you can do this gradually. I don't recommend just like cutting off a nap completely all of a sudden, because that's going to be really hard for a toddler. You can give them quiet time instead. Put them in their crib if they don't sleep for nap time and they just hang out in there, then so be it. But I would at least cap the nap to half an hour, 45 minutes. And then another sleep problem for toddlers, if they're sleeping in a toddler bed, is they keep getting out of bed. This could also relate to they're getting too much sleep during the day, because if they're getting too much sleep during the day, then come bedtime, they're not going to be ready for sleep, and they're going to be like, why am I in here? I'm just going to get up and play. So you have to make sure that that's not the issue. If that is not the issue, it could be a behavioral issue, which means that is a whole other ball game. And there's lots of tips and advice I can give you in my group on that. That is something that a lot of parents struggle with, and it's something that is easy. It's easier to deal with, but it's it's something that a lot of toddlers go through, so it's quite common. And then the last one would be, actually, I think that's all I have for you. Yeah, getting out of bed would be the last sleep. Oh, and one more I just want to quickly touch on would be at the ages of, usually it's around like a year to 15, 16 months. And then again at 2, there's this separation anxiety that children go through. And this is something that makes it a little bit hard to sleep train or to like get your toddler, in their groove of what they're usually used to. But if you stick to your sleep methods and you stick to what you've done this whole time, then you should be okay. It's just being consistent when your toddler is feeling, that separation anxiety. You still have to stay consistent in what you're doing, and you can do that in the most gentlest way possible. It just depends on which method you're going to use or which method you have used. So yeah, those were the most common sleep problems that toddlers will run into, and their sleep needs. So if you like this video, like I said at the beginning, you can come join my group, Sleep Little One member group, where I talk about this kind of stuff and I help you to navigate this sleep training journey that can be extremely overwhelming and exhausting. Anyways, I hope to see you in my group. I hope you guys are having a great week, and we will talk soon. Bye.